So good. You're getting after it. Coast is clear. You're welcome. You know, always. I'll do
I guess Nashville was the roughest. Oh, they say the same about
it always finds a way.
Yeah, that's why
ready to do it. Want to be like, I like it.
It's amazing. I'm not gonna leave, you know.
I noticed that.
right. And I dream of maybe
Yes, and it was a really great.
Welcome, everyone. Hello, bonjour. My name is Lauren. I'm a dear close friend of Phil and Shannon's. I'll be emceeing tonight just to guide us through the evening. I think I was chosen to MC tonight because I was born in Canada, but I grew up in America, and now I live in British Columbia. So I'm here to bridge the two cultures. You know, unify us together. To the Americans, I got you. If a Canadian tries to tell you a temperature in Celsius, you just double it and add 30, okay? It's gonna be fine. So for the Americans, there you go. To the Canadians, if you're trying to look cool in front of someone from the Bay Area, just tell them that Tartine has the best bread. And you always stop at Aikita's on the way up to Tahoe, okay? Any housekeeping stuff? The only housekeeping I was told was there is a shuttle, don't know where it is, but it's somewhere, and it is going all night. If you need a ride back somewhere, it's there for you. But the last shuttle is at 12:30, so be warned. You'll get stuck here forever in Whistler Village. Before we start the speeches, I wanted to say Shabbat Shalom. It's Friday night. In the great Jewish tradition, we often do many blessings, but I would like to invite Jackie and Joycey up, Phil's cousins. If you have a glass of wine or your drink, we together are going to do the blessing of the wine, which is extra special tonight for this weekend.
Are you singing it?
You guys can, we can sing it together.
We'll do our version, which is...
Yeah, you do your version.
So how is it, Jackie? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen, which means literally, up yours and down mine.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay, so first up, I would like to introduce the reason we are all here, the king and queen of the mountain, the lord and lady of last-minute wedding venue changes, the prince and princess of Pivot, Phil and Shannon.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm so nervous. Don't.
Quit making fun of me.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming out. Yeah, not a bad plan B, right? Yeah, I just want to thank my mom, Henriette Lacroix. Where is she? She's sponsored tonight, so thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So thank her, not us, for all the snacks and the good drinks. And yeah. Oh, and thank you so much to Aaron and Chloe, our extremely talented and gifted wedding planners. Wave if you're in the crowd somewhere. Are they gone? They have pulled off the impossible. A whole new wedding in a week. I actually think it was about 3 days. I think by day 3, we're like, all right, we are pretty much set, sign these contracts, let's go. So, unbelievable talent, and we are so happy of how everything is turning out. This is just legendary, amazing, so, yeah. And she said, don't worry, this is most people's plan A. So, We agree.
So I'm just going to tell you a little bit of a story about why we have our wedding venue tomorrow. And it's all about these tiny little toads. And these tiny toads are very special here in Whistler. When the tiny toads migrate, they close down roads, they close down Lost Lake, they close down venues. And so they were planning for the tiny toads to be migrating this weekend, which is why our venue was available. But the tiny toads decided to finish early. So we're here so we can really thank the tiny toads. The tiny toads! And really, we're here because of all of you guys. We just want to thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for the encouragement, the excitement. You have really brought the energy when we were really low and feeling like we might have to cancel our wedding. And, you know, the texts, the phone calls, the voice texts, the messages, the emails, everything, you know, you guys really brought it, and we feel so loved. And we can't wait to party with you guys. Anything else?
I think that's it. Back to LB. Everyone make some noise for LB.
LVMC. Okay, first up, we have Shannon's wonderful work wife, Libby, from a law firm whose name I can never pronounce. So here you go, Libby.
Thank you, Lauren. As Lauren said, my name is Libby. I'm Shannon's friend from Latham and beyond. So, one year when I was home on a summer break from college, many years ago now, there was an extended family dinner and my mom gave a toast. And it was something to the effect of, Libby, we're so proud of how you are making the most and thriving during your in-between years. And we all said, Mom, what are the in-between years? She said, oh, it's the years between when you leave your original family and then when you start your new family. Now, this conversation was taking place in Oklahoma. My family is from the South, Oklahoma, Louisiana, very near Arkansas, where Pam's family is from. And I can tell you that down there, there's an expectation, or at least a hope, that the in-between years are quick. Mine were not. My husband, Somerset, and I were just married 2 years ago. In between, I traveled, I lived a lot of different places, and it wasn't until I was 30 that I showed up in San Francisco, ready to start my law career at Latham. I didn't know anybody in the whole city except my brother, and I had no boyfriend. And little did I know that Shannon was out there traveling a similar path. She had gone far away from home, lived in France, she'd been in DC, and she was also showing up in San Francisco to start at Latham the same time I was. So at our law firm, Latham, a couple weeks after everyone starts, and by the way, like 200, 300 kids start every year at the same time. They bring all of them together to the same location for this conference so that everyone can get to know each other and learn about firm culture. And I remember getting to this conference and feeling my age. 30 is late to be starting your law career. Most kids go kind of straight through. And 2 or 3 days in, they loaded us all up on this bus. And I was sitting in the front alone, and I look across the aisle, and there's another girl sitting in the front alone. I introduced myself, and the conversation went something like, I'm the oldest person here. And Shannon said, try me. And never was a faster friendship born. Shannon, in the decade since that conversation, you have been nothing short of my family at the firm, but in the city. We have shared countless late nights commiserating at the office. We have shared countless late nights outside of the office as well. We've had healthy habits. Before COVID hit, Shannon and I were meeting for a workout class at 7 a.m. like 3 or 4 days a week, and I was truly in the best shape of my life thanks to Shannon's accountability. And once when Shannon had like a 2-month gap between apartments, she lived with me. And last summer after we had a baby, my parents wanted to be nearby, and Shannon and Phil welcomed them into their condo in the city for a couple of months. And then, of course, most relevant for this crowd, we've been side by side to tackle dating in our 30s in San Francisco. Largely app-based, as most of us know. But we've been there for each other through like a lot of like hard decisions and breakups. But also we've had the uniquely precious experience of being each other's best friends when we met our husbands. And I remember very clearly when Shannon and Phil, of course, they had known each other, and then they weren't seeing each other, and then they reconnected. And I remember talking to Shannon when it was like, okay, we're gonna meet up. Like, I hope this is a date. Is it a date? Like, should we go? What's it gonna be? And then the next morning, Shannon sent me a text about her first date with Phil. And I took a screenshot of the text because I was like, I think Shannon's gonna marry Phil. And I think I'm gonna read this text at her wedding. Shannon, I am exploding from excitement and feelings. It feels so intense that I think this is it. That feels insane to say, but it's true. So let's raise a glass to this text manifesting itself this weekend and to the end of Shannon's in-between years.
Oh, nice work, Libby. Way to save a text. Well, what kind of data package do you have on your storage do you have? Because I gotta get me some of that. Okay, next up we have Phil's one of his high school best friends, who was the co-mascot with him of the Riverview Royals, Roy and Al, Colin Cowan.
Thanks, Lauren. Wow, deep cut right out of the gates. That's psycho. Yeah, Roy and Al. Okay, let me explain that to you. So in our hillbilly little high school in a small town in New Brunswick, we had a mascot already. But Philippe and I thought it would be better to develop our own mascots. Why? Because we're innovators. We're ideasmen. So we got somebody's friend to take red spandex and make as tight as you could spandex outfits, hiding nothing, with capes, and we were called the Riverview Royals. So one was Roy and one was Al, and it was basically the ambiguously gay duo. It was great. I remember actually once Philippe got his, I'm calling him Philippe because Henriette's here, and the reason why she still loves me to this day is because I've always called him Philippe in front of her. Thanks, Henriette, thank you. Means the world, just seeing your kisses. But yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, somebody actually stole Phil's hat once. I think called him the F word once after a game wearing spandex. And I remember I was like, he didn't defend himself because he was so nice. And I was nice too, but I was a redhead, so I was like, you're just gonna let him take your hat? And I think I called him Roy as well, because he was wearing the suit. Roy! And I chased after him, I was like, that's my friend! A cop ended up tackling the guy, because I guess he stole a bunch of shit. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about any of that. Good night, everybody. Who was that man? Who was that guy? Okay, let's see. I was going to write a speech, but I couldn't because I've known Philippe for too long. If somebody says something like mascot, that's what happens. Okay, but yeah, this is an extremely... I wanted to write jokes and stuff because I do those things, but I didn't. It's too hard because I'm really happy about this. I used to hate weddings, and now I'm a dad now, and I'm married, and I'm just a big mess. So, how do I describe Phil, I guess? Let me just start by saying something like that. Philippe Rabin in one word. Well, this will shock you. Humble. Believe it or not. Seriously is probably one of the most humble people I know. I mean, when I first met him, I did not know what to think of this person. Block of amazing rock and roll hair, Metallica t-shirt, but like a sporty and sensible ski jacket, you know? And I remember thinking, like, this guy was just guiding the conversation, middle of the winter, walking home from school. I was probably 12. I was like, this guy is a genius, a leader. Need to know this man. As soon as I go up to say hi to him, he goes, "What's your name?" Picks his nose and eats his boogers. I was like, maybe he's simple. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But that's it. Phil, it's always toggles the line between wild card and simpleton, which is why he remains one of the most inspiring humans you can ever meet. Like, it didn't take long. Within a year, I was like, is he a thief? Like, I don't know if you remember stealing bowling shoes from a 10-lane bowling alley. To my American friends, don't worry about what 10-lane small ball bowling is. But he stole the shoes. I was like, he's a thief. He's a genius. And then it turns out he's a dancer in his brother's surf band, the Los Boleros. He stole the shoes to be a dancer, a better dancer. And there's always something, I was like, he's not a criminal. He's just couldn't find the right dancing shoes, He's just an innovator. Tennis champ, voulez-vous un smoothie? Don't worry about it, inside joke. Oh yeah, a lot of people here became privy to an old joke of ours during his 40th birthday last year, which was, Phil only cares about 5 things. Phil. Very funny, not true. Well, I mean, it's a joke, so part of it's definitely true, but like all jokes, part of it isn't true. I would definitely say Phil does care about 5 things. Phil. But only in the way that a person should learn to love themselves if they ever want to love somebody else. And I feel like from a young age, Phil was learning about politics, science, sports, music. He was learning how to love himself. And I remember that entire journey always thinking, like, what is this guy's goal? Horny teenager. He looked like this, just less salt and pepper, I think 9 years old, the Nutcracker Prince, but this guy, chiseled, gorgeous, 40-year-old dreamboat, but in a tiny boy's body. But he's always just been a dreamer, but... Sorry, I lost it on that one, but... I just remember throughout all of this, like, trying to figure out who this guy was, He's a wildcat, ladies' man. But the whole time he had this adult perspective of this perfect woman he would describe. And it would continue on through his 20s. He would always describe her, career-oriented, brilliant, sporty, independent, smart, funny, fun, biggest heart in the world. And all of us were always like, Phil, that person does not exist. Your standards are too high. I remember once he had a roommate in San Francisco shortly after moving there, and he was like, I met his girlfriend, my roommate, she's perfect. Like, if I could just meet somebody like that. And it turns out he met that person. It was Shannon. Shannon was that person. It wasn't until a couple of years later before they were seeing each other. But I remember him still referencing her within years afterwards and being like, give it up, Phil, That ship has sailed. You can't date an old roommate's girlfriend. It's impossible. But, much like the fashion impossibility of trying to couple a Metallica shirt with a smart and sensible, sporty ski jacket, he pulled it off. I don't know what else to say, I guess. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna cry tomorrow. And I never, like I said at the beginning of this, I usually hated weddings, but Shannon, the moment I met you, I am basically Philippe's family. When he wasn't at home when I was 20, I would be hanging out with Henriette and Meyer, having dinner parties. He's my brother from another mother. Right on. Just never thought I would say that with you in the room, let alone say that. Because there's your referenced there. Sorry, Henriette. I'm not even speaking French. This is the beginning of my demise with her. But anyway, I'm trying to say, Shannon, that, yeah, I just, the moment I first met you, I was like, he did it. He found, he was looking at me and going like, how did he find Jen? He looks like Pennywise from It. But I'm joking. No, don't worry, I'm okay with myself. But the first time I met you, I was just like, wow, Philippe found his dream partner. And all I could think was 3 words: don't fuck it up. I love you guys. I can't wait for your wedding tomorrow. I'm gonna be a big old mess. Let's party. This is gonna be great. Here's Lauren. Lauren's back. Thanks. Cheers.
Oh, hugs for Colin. Great work from Riverview, New Brunswick. Colin Cowan, everyone. Okay, next up we have Shannon's best childhood friend, Casey. They used to live across a meadow from each other, and I learned tonight they also bought their first thongs together. Here she is, Casey. Your mom told me that.
Pam, I forgot that. Okay, I don't know how to follow up those two, by the way. I'm a little upset about the order of these speeches, and I actually wrote something down, so forgive me as I read a little bit for you, but I've really been struggling to find the words to explain a lifetime of friendship and just how much joy I feel watching my oldest friend enter this next chapter of her life. I know not much will change technically for them because Shannon and Phil have already been through all of life's ups and downs together, and they've conquered them all. But it's easy to see that they're true partners, and I feel so blessed to be here with all of you, acknowledging their love. Together, we get to celebrate the life they've already built and that they will continue to build from their vows forward. And to say that Shannon is my oldest friend means to say she was the first best friend I ever had, and while I definitely hit the jackpot with her. 30 years later, I can honestly say she's more than my first best friend, she's my family for life. Looking back, what pops in my mind is her warm smile, her bright blue eyes, and her generous heart, and of course her fierceness. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I don't kid, she actually tried to kill me at her 6th birthday party. I was her only party guest, and she promised me pistachios would be the best thing I ever had. Well, they were until I found out I'm deathly allergic to them. I proceeded to hide in her bathroom until Shannon found me and Pam rushed us to the ER. Pam screamed the entire way down Donner Pass Road, and Shannon held my hand in the back seat. Sadly, that's not the only time, I'm shaking, guys. I accidentally I did this again several more times. Definitely once on a road trip to a swim meet in the middle of Nevada. Pam saved my life. Again at Amelie. Libby, you might have been there. I had a walnut chocolate cake, and Shannon had to run from Polk Street to Walgreens to get a Benadryl to save me. But that's always Shannon. She's a caretaker by nature and the most loyal friend. She's strong, determined, wise, and has a heart of gold. But if you mess with her or someone she loves, watch out for her wrath. She can outwit and stealthily destroy anyone who crosses her path. I've spent a lifetime looking up to Shannon. There are endless things I admire about her. As kids, we raced each other in pools, on the ski slopes, competed on tennis courts, and rode countless miles together on the bike. Truthfully, she always beat me to the finish, especially in the breaststroke. Her grit was and is still unmatched by most, and I'm so proud that I had a friend who pushed me along the way growing up. Lucky for me, our lives have always paralleled one another. Even if we lost touch for periods of time, the universe always brought us back. After both attending different schools in San Diego, Shannon and all her ventures, we both wound up in San Francisco. Our SF memories are vast, probably not wedding appropriate, and definitely a blur, but common theme was always fun. Looking back at my past 30 years of life, one major constant is Shannon. Memories of adventures, deep loss, heartbreaks, late nights, dancing, and so much laughter. And if you know, Shannon has the best laugh of anyone on the planet. Shannon, my oldest friend, I could go on forever about how amazing you are. You are a true treasure, a soulmate in my life, and I couldn't be happier to watch you marry your soulmate. And that brings me to Phil, the man who so perfectly compliments and wholeheartedly loves my oldest friend. I can feel that with you, Shannon is safe, she's happy, and she's supported, and she can be her truest and most vulnerable self. I know that no matter what challenges come her way, you are there for her. I love that with you, she doesn't always have to be the strongest person in the room, even though she always is. So thank you, Phil, for being her rock. She deserves a million boulders. So I'd like to propose a toast. I need a shot. To Shannon and Phil, cheers to your marriage, a lifetime of happiness, and cheers to another 30 plus years of having the best and most supportive friend in the world. I love you. I'm shaking like a leaf. I don't have your skills.
Oh. Amazing. So happy you didn't die from eating those pistachios, Casey. Thank you, Pam. Thank you to moms rushing kids to ERs. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, we're on the last speech, which is me. I know you've heard from me a lot, but I begged Phil and Shannon to let me do a speech. So, you guys are all probably very familiar with the famous Rabin brothers, Phil and Marky Mark right there. But I like to consider myself the lesser-known Rabin sister. And I have known Phil since I was 18. Jackie and Joycey were at my bat mitzvah. Henriette and Maya were at my wedding, so I'm pretty sure I am. And I've been very lucky to be Phil's sister and taken it very seriously. I've taught him very important dances to do on dance floors, like how to body roll. Yes. Phil, please stand up and show everyone. Yeah! Gotta make sure my brother knows how to impress women on the dance floor. One time, Phil let me flat iron his hair. It was very curly and long, and when I flat ironed it, it was like past his shoulders. It was very, very handsome, but he didn't let me take a photo, so I've never been able to show anyone what happened, but it was great. Yeah, he was very Italian, very douchey. We also traveled to Europe together. I will spare you all those stories. Brent Hodge, I'm going to spare you that story. But I think that I took it very seriously, making sure Phil knew about women. I was always telling him that they're so lucky to have me as a sister. But I think something I didn't say enough to you, Phil, God, I'm going to try, is what a privilege it has been in my life of having you as a brother. And at 18, Phil introduced me to dark chocolate, changed my life. In our 20s, Phil also taught me how to drive stick shift in Scotland on the other side of the road. It was a harrowing thing. And most significantly, when my now husband and I were on a break, we were broken up, I called Phil in tears and said, Chris is dating another girl long distance. And I was very upset. And Phil just said, Lauren, she doesn't hold a candle to your bonfire. He's just waiting for you. So, Phil, thank you for being my brother, for saving my marriage, for yeah, for loving me my whole life and for being there for me and being my biggest champion. And thank you for the other greatest gift, which is giving me a sister in Shannon. And it's not just like, oh, good, you're my sister. I truly love her. I look forward to being with her. She makes me laugh. She loves people so deeply. And I just feel so lucky to have her as a sister. And we can't wait to do this next chapter of life with you guys as a weird, wonderful, fucked up brother-sister family that we are, the chosen family, and we're so lucky to have you.
Who's gonna carry you home when you've been drinking except tonight? 1, 2, 3. So when I get done, who's gonna? I won't be so long. Every long every night. Every time think about that girl of mine.
Really good. No worries.
You know, I don't know.
No one's ever
Just take it and triage them all.
getting sick.
Get ready or anything like that.
Shannon, help each other out, and you help him with his time. Put in veils and any style of bustle and a dress. Skills that I, never thought I would have, but
Delivery was good. It was slow. It was like I'll let you take a look. Are you ready for your coffee? There's so many entertainers in this room.
But you really didn't know. Yeah, you weren't.
Well, it was like what, 35 years ago?
Yep. Yes. She approved. I ran everything by her.
yeah.
They do this kind of jewelry.
Yeah.
Like a large, it's like it's a beautiful piece of jewelry.
It'd be more afraid that I'd lose it.
Exactly. Like most people just think it's fake. That's true.
Yes. To my beautiful daughter. Yes.
Together.
Okay. I don't want too many vitamins.
Love it.
Getting a shot.
In San Francisco. Oh man. Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah. Well,
Something bar.
Mom was always pissed off.
That completes the look. Excited? How you
Now
doing?
it's order, and so I can't believe it's gotten worse.
Elbow in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think that's better. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Like a little adjustment.
Perfect. Yeah, if we could fit everything in there, I can carry that.
Alrighty.
Turn a little bit more towards me. You look great.
Hello. Can I turn? Wow. Hello. I'm already crying. You look amazing. Wow, let's see this thing. Do a twirl. Woo, look at the back. I couldn't pull that off, that's for sure. Wow,
no, you
cool.
couldn't.
Oh, the shoes are great. I love the shoes.
Yeah, they're blue.
Yeah. Wow.
And then this comes undone too.
Oh, cool.
It's like a little tree.
Yeah, very cool. Very modern. Thank you.
Love it. Awesome.
Where's your bike? They're doing it. We got time.
Okay.
And I messaged her.
She remembered at the very last minute and like came running out to the car. Is that Phil will have to run back to the car. You were trying to think of ways to like incorporate him.
Doing the
Drop
thing.
into a slow four at.
Love each other.
Like we're getting married.
Right there for
Look
a
at these
second.
flowers.
I know.
They're like, it's been so pretty in Truckee too.
Yeah.
Today, because by tomorrow we're just gonna be like, best friend I've ever done in my entire life. Please take lots of photos.
No.
Maybe. Probably not.
I'm gonna leave now.
Right from the Visa company is. So if it's like or with ones with a lot of points, I might pay 2.7.
Sorry, Aaron, we forgot
Can you
about the
imagine?
gondola.
If you're not on the road. Steal that kiss when you're ready. Oh yeah. Let's do it. Tour guide is fun.
Phil used to share a room. Instructor, and I was like, let's overshot a little bit, and ended up kind of like, come on,
No crying in baseball.
jumping, and it started getting.
It's close.
It's like a little.
Oh, so greedy. It's like, oh,
Yeah. There was a story which is like goes out behind Kyrus up on snowmobiles at Chackness Lake at like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's now gonna be.
yeah. I had one moment though where because we brought them to this open bar and like, we just got this spot.
That's hilarious.
Better? And that's perfect right about. Is working with us so well. I love it.
amazing. I know it doesn't feel
Sun on your face though, and just turn into each other there. Oh, you guys looks cool. Amazing. Bring your foreheads kind of nice and close together. Together on that ring hand. No, Shannon.
This is my that's
got a good ring for it too.
You know,
your hand is all mangled.
scar. Yeah. Which makes it even more. I am the most interesting woman in the world in Italy. Blonde hair and blue eyes. Just surprised. Flowers all like the whole time. It's kind of know your needs.
Boy Phil.
It's actually, yeah, it's like a model
Yeah,
shoot, isn't it?
it's playing.
We planned it.
Back for those shoes.
She's having fun now.
Give her direction and she just takes them. All right. Leave a little bit of space between you. Yeah. Big people, or big Shannon. Right here. Oh, actually, I like that. Look. And then open them on 3. 1, 2, 3, open. Smile. Phil looking right at Shannon, and Shannon. There it is.
She has the back.
Yeah.
Mountain Man.
And then fix, like, do the button up. Keep your hands in your pockets.
Damn, shorty.
And smile. That's look nice. I just had to get my shadow out of it. Yeah, whenever you're ready, just walk. And 3 more steps. 1, 2. That's perfect. Pause 1 second. 6 probably. There. Talk to Kiana about the. And then pull in nice and close now. That was incredible, but I wasn't ready. Right there.
They're getting the hang of it. Saucy.
6 more steps. And yeah, just keep looking down, just like that.
Feeling tropical.
1, 2, 3, go.
There. Wow.
Looks good. You can look at your lady.
Great. Wowzer. A little bit of cheese. Just a little bit.
Got this. Yeah. And oh, that's awesome. All the people are. When you got to the other side, did a full lap, and
It's messy too. It's like we have, you know, a handful of resorts that are up.
Don't wanna be an out. I like the two guitars.
Wait. One question, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? I know what it is.
Your time with me, your time.
Yeah, that's it.
If I could be said. To hear it, you gotta sail away, run away, find you a lover. I don't know, I liked when you did that. Who compares with you? You belong among the wildflowers.
I didn't say it, but I'll take it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad I enjoyed that.
You like it?
I feel like I have that before. But because, the city attorney, sometimes I do feel like it's great for government, and most people, local government, expectation on it.
Good looking group.
So I think they finally realized that.
Good, how are you?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brent Hodge, but for today, you can call me Father Haji. Or for the cousins, Rabbi Haji.
Whoops.
As one of Phil and Shannon's best friends, I am extremely honored to officiate their wedding. We're about to get started, but before we do, I have a couple important messages. First, please silence your phones. We have a great photography team. They're here to capture the wedding, and the photos will be shared with you all. Shannon and Phil would love more than anything for you just to be present and enjoy today. So with that being said, Chris and Colin, let us begin.
You got it, Father Haji. AKA Rabbi Haji. Don't wanna be an actor pretending on the stage. Don't wanna be a writer with my thoughts out on the page. Don't wanna be a painter, 'cause everyone comes to look. Don't wanna be anything where my life's an open book. A dream, it's true. I'll see it through. If I could be
and gentlemen, will you please stand for the bride? Please be seated, everyone. Thank you all for being here and traveling all this way to the breathtaking Tyax Lodge. I think that's an error. That's for sure an error. I do have to go off record here for a second, though. I have to say, what a pivot and what a place. And this is such an example of the two of you. If this is what you did in a week, I can't wait to see what you do for the rest of your lives. We all know this venue here in Whistler is actually perfect for Phil and Shannon. It has mountains, lakes, outdoors, biking, hot tub, and of course, the West Coast. The world has changed dramatically over the past few years, and as we've learned so much through the process, something that holds true for everyone is just how much the people in our lives mean to us. For Phil and Shannon, that means each of you here today. Each of you in your own way has contributed to who they are. They couldn't be more thrilled to be sharing this perfect day with you. Perfect. We'll get to that later. Of course, it is also important on days like this that we miss those who are no longer with us. Today, we are remembering Phil's father, Meyer, deeply loved and dearly missed. We know Meyer would be so happy for his son today and wish his new daughter a mazel tov from the bottom of his heart. Now, Phil and Shannon, this is where we get serious. I am to remind you of the binding nature of the new relationship you're about to commit to today. Shannon, as a lawyer, you already know this jargon, but we should probably spell it out for Phil. The rights of marriage, as most of us understand it, is the commitment of two individuals to one another. As you stand here with the one you love, I now ask each of you to state your intention. Phil, you've chosen Shannon to be your wife. Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor her, keep her for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Shannon, you have chosen Phil to be your husband. Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, so long as you both shall live?
I will.
Phil and Shannon's love story. I'd like you all to sit back for a moment and listen to a beautiful and intertwined modern-day love story, which I call the friend zone. A young, much more naive Shannon once dated Phil's roommate, who's oddly not with us here today. How odd. After Shannon and the roommate broke up and time had passed, a young, much more aggressive Phil made his move. They were nervous because they didn't know if they were in the friend zone or not. Fast forward to present day, they were not. Their date at Park Tavern in San Francisco was described to me as, we were kissing and came up for air to notice that the restaurant was closed. Again, friend zone, they were not. I stand here today as the officiant of this wedding, but also as a direct witness to what I believe was a moment that changed my friend Phil's love, energy, and life outlook forever. The day he started dating Shannon. So much so that after I caught up with them as a couple for the first time, I called Shannon out of the blue. I didn't know Shannon at the time, but I felt like I'd known her forever. On that call, I completely broke the guy code and spilled it all to Shannon. I told her that Phil was head over heels for her and not to worry about any roommate drama that might come. Not to inject myself into this love story, but I've known Phil for a majority of our adult life, and as the officiant here today, I can tell you this is one story that was clearly meant to be. So let's talk about that perfect day that I mentioned earlier. Phil and Shannon have this thing, you know how couples have their things. This one is brilliant. They call it the perfect day. And it usually happens after they just had one. They will say, that was a perfect day. It usually consists of coffee in bed, some romance, if Phil's lucky, mountain biking or skiing, as we know, dinner at home with friends. What's incredible about their perfect day is it changes all the time. But they really try to stop and recognize what a perfect day is and why it feels so monumental. So I'm going to speak for everyone here today and say, Phil and Shannon, I think this is one of those perfect days. Do you all agree? Now we've come to the most important words of the day, the words that take Phil and Shannon from being engaged to being married. Shannon, 1 second, please share your vows with Phil.
Philly, it's hard to pinpoint exactly when I fell in love with you. I think it began when I was just getting to know you as a friend. Years before that, I asked a girlfriend who was about to get married how she knew her husband was the one. And she told me he's just so good. That seemed a bit obscure to me at the time, but from the moment I met you, I knew you were a good man. And with every passing day, I've been lucky enough to discover just how truly good you are. I finally understand what my friend meant all those years ago. You are so fiercely loyal to your people. Watching the way you love and care for your loved ones is one of the reasons I fell in love with you. And now I have the great fortune of calling your community my own. You might not always have the perfect response to a difficult situation, but you are consistently seeking to learn how you can better show up with more empathy, more kindness, and more love. Your positivity and optimism and humor is the antidote to my sometimes hyperactive realism. You've taught me that I don't always need to control or know how the outcome of every situation will come out. You make me feel safe and held so I can let go of the reins and let life unfold without my constant intervention. You never waste a moment of your life wishing you were somewhere else, with someone else, or doing something else. You don't have what the kids call FOMO, or fear of missing out. You are deeply satisfied with the life that we built, and that's the best feeling in the world. You remind me on a near daily basis to feel gratitude for everything that we have in our lives, for just how lucky we are to have our homes, our incredible friends, our supportive and loving families, and each other. Often when we pull into our driveway, we turn to each other in disbelief. This is our home. This is our dream. Can you believe it? You are my ultimate dreamboat. The sexiest man I know. The only teammate and partner I could ever hope for, and the only person I have ever wanted to spend my life with. I promise to have patience to weather the ups and downs of our future together as we grow and change individually and as a couple. I promise honesty, even when it might be painful. You have my absolute respect and admiration, and I promise to honor that always. I promise I'll never ask you to do a cross-country ski race longer than 30 kilometers ever again. I promise I will always be on your team, even when I disagree with you and I'm angry with you. We always say we're building an enterprise, and we're co-CEOs, co-CFOs, and co-COOs. I promise to show up every day to make our love and our lives stronger, deeper, and more abundant. I promise we will one day move back to Canada, even if Donald Trump doesn't get elected. I promise to always encourage and nurture what brings you joy. Guitar practice, jazz concerts, crazy mountain biking and skiing adventures, overpriced and impractical furniture, another cat, even if it ruins said furniture. I promise to fight for us and our love as fiercely as I finished the 54-kilometer Birkebeiner race with a broken rib and a bruised ego. You are my great love, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you.
Phil, please share your vows with Shannon.
They say good things come to those who wait. And boy, are they right. To say that you're my dream girl is the understatement of the century. I knew as soon as you walked in the door to go on a date with my roommate, I thought, wow, what a babe. She's nice, smart, skis, mountain bikes, likes the mountains, and laughs at my jokes. Who knew we'd be getting married a few years later? You are loyal, honest, hardworking, and bring so much softness and kindness to our relationship. You have the best intentions and put so much love into your friendships. And we make a damn great team, even a cross-country ski team. And if planning a completely new wedding in a week doesn't faze us, nothing will. We are equals, friends, lovers, co-CEOs of our lives, and make each other better people. I've become more aware of myself, and I've become less of a programmer than when we first met. I promise to be faithful, to be patient, to kiss and make up when we disagree, and to bring optimism to every situation. To be steady when you need me to be, to encourage you when you have tough choices to make, to be a shoulder to lean on, and to be a good listener when you just need to vent. I promise to be there when your job gets tough, when you haven't had enough sleep and it's just too damn early, when a sad movie makes you cry on the airplane, and to be your bike mechanic even though I can barely fix my own. I promise to look out for you in the mountains, whether it's on snow or dirt, and to be your partner through all of our wild adventures. I promise to accept you the way you are and to love you even more as we grow into versions of our parents we never thought possible. I also promise to never give up using Celsius, even though we live in America. Or making dad jokes that make your eyes roll. Or using an Android phone, which makes my text bubble on your iMessage go green. Not sorry. And to quote John Mayer, I love that guy. Stick around now, and you might find maybe I prove you wrong when the right one comes. Won't be long till the right one comes. You're the right one, and I can't wait to be your husband.
May we have the rings, please? Phil and Shannon, let these rings serve as a symbol of your love and commitment to each other, and a reminder of the feeling you have for each other in this very moment. Phil, place the ring on Shannon's finger.
Put this ring.
Nope.
Oh, sorry.
This ring.
This ring is a symbolic and a never-ending commitment. Love and devotion to you.
Shannon, place the ring on Phil's finger.
This ring is a symbol of my never-ending love, commitment, and devotion to you.
Phil and Shannon, you care for each other deeply. You have a life filled with adventure, growth, exploration, learning, gratitude, encouragement, and support through the hard times and the good times. You're constantly nurturing and developing a network of friends, family, coworkers, and community. That's what today is, a celebration to bring your community together, to share your love and commitment to each other. Today you shared your vows and exchanged your rings, surrounded by your very close people. Now I want you to take a second and look out around them. Take a look at everyone, take it in, take the beautiful Whistler, British Columbia in. And I'm gonna speak for all of us here today when I say, we share this joyous moment and wish you a lifetime of happiness together. Phil and Shannon, it is my delight to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss each other. When do we do it?
You want to do it?
Woo!
Okay. Yeah, baby.
Everyone, please stand with me right now to congratulate and celebrate our newlyweds. Phil and Shannon are officially husband and wife.
You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Go away somewhere all bright and new. I have seen no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. All right.
That's all good.
I tell you though, I'm taking
I'm just so happy.
Sounds like, I don't remember.
Something like that.
All right, and my turn. Looking right here. One more time. 1, 2. Great, great. And just close your eyes. Look down your right. You. The dress, the flower. Amazing. You look so pretty. Looks so good. I like that wide with all the chairs and everything. Oh, sorry, everybody. And look at each other right there for one photo. Steal a kiss when you're ready.
Feeling a little moment.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And then when you know, you know.
Like, it looks so good. You're not doing anything. Like, also, I put all the table numbers in. Just kidding.
It's what they were doing.
Yeah, it was like, sure.
I'll never make it. Oh, no. You feel my I've been walking for. There's nothing that I wouldn't do.
I don't know if they
Did they get him? But yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Okay, he's
Hey, everybody! Welcome! Welcome to the wedding of the century! The wedding of Phil and Shannon, last name to be determined. My name is Chris Kelly. I am the MC for this evening. I am one of Phil Rabin's oldest friends, and I am co-MCing tonight, which is an absolute pleasure. I was kind of given this co-MC by the Fairmont. They kind of gave it to me. He's a young guy, kind of new to MCing. You may know him from, he works one of the lifts, the ski lifts here in Whistler on the Blackcomb side. Please welcome to the stage, Karen. All right, here he is. He's just a local guy. He's pretty cool. He's from Whistler, so be really kind.
Whoa, that's a slippery floor, bro. All right. Scap dudes, Curly and Karen, happy to be here. Not sure who got married, but I'll learn. All right, okay, Whistler. Whoa, bro. Like, come on, like, okay, that's extreme. Let's just get in this. We are gathered here today, join Hans. Who got married?
No, they already did that part.
Whoa, bros, you guys were quick. That's wild. Man, I just have a black call and I was thinking, man, tomorrow's conditions are gonna be cursed.
Just kidding. Look, it's a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Cowan.
I'm sorry.
The comedy stylings of Colin Cowan.
Thought we'd bring you the gold material to start with.
That's top A level.
Top A level material that does this to people. It's going perfect so far.
It's going very well right now.
What a day. This is beautiful, Chris.
Oh, we're going to do...
Chris, this was beautiful today, wasn't it?
Great time.
This feels better. This feels better.
Feels much better.
What a great
we
ceremony.
can kind of spin around and see everybody.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're going to have two MCs...
Yeah,
then
you might as well. Might as well.
It's not about us, though.
Not about us at all.
It's not about us.
No, it's about Phil and Shannon. It's a very beautiful ceremony.
I mean, I'm not sure if you've done this yet. I was down there finishing up my game of golf. Have we done a round of applause for the beautiful couple today?
We did. You missed it. But let's do it again.
Another one. I just wanted to feel the center of that. That was a heart melter. And give it a warm round of applause for Brent Hodge, crushing it up there.
Just Father Hodgie.
Also known as Father Hodge Misty. Eyed. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I love seeing a beautifully...
It's sad the church won't accept you, but you know, you do a great job.
I love seeing
Guys,
Hodge
we're
break.
not going to
so
take
beautiful.
up a lot of your time.
We already have. What are you talking about? Arguably too much.
We gotta get some speeches underway.
Okay, who do we got up first? I think it's...
It's
straight blood, isn't it? Are we going...
It's straight. We're going blood to blood. We're going brother to brother. This gentleman... He's
a Raven.
He's a Raven. He was in grade 12 and I was in grade 9. Colin was in grade 8. And he is most famously known as the drummer
of Los Boleros,
Riverview, New Brunswick's finest surf rock band.
Premier surf rock band.
Premier.
They even had their own dancer. I believe his name was Tito
Puente.
It was Philippe Rabin. It was Philippe
Phil Rabin
was Philippe Rabin.
danced in the band. That was his only job.
We talked about the bowling shoes last night. That's why it was for that band. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the man who is actually powering this evening's festivities with his Volt stacks.
Musician extraordinaire,
Mark Rabin!
Scientist Mark Rabin!
Thank you all. All right, everybody. Welcome. Thank you. So wonderful to see you all here. All right, here we go. So thank you for being here to celebrate Shannon and Phil's incredible love. I'm Mark Rabin, Phil's older and some would say better looking brother. Thank you. And I'm so excited to welcome Shannon and the Lankenows to our family. Interestingly enough, this is the first wedding in the Rabin-Lacroix family since 1984, when our Uncle Saul got married. That's almost 40 years. So this is a rare planetary alignment. And eat it up, y'all, because there's nothing else on the horizon anytime soon. So, yeah. True story. Always the adventurers with impeccable organizational skills. You know, Phil and Shannon started planning their wedding well over a year ago, seeking the most romantic, remote, and exotic location in BC, only to be thwarted by the last minute by the wildfires, resulting in the replanning of their entire wedding in under 2 weeks, as we've heard previously. And this is truly a testament to their adaptable, easygoing nature and their wedding must go on, get shit done resolve. Yeah, seriously. There was like no negotiation on that one. I'd also like to give a big shout out to the amazing wedding planners, Aaron and Chloe, wherever you are, for pulling this together. Thank you both. And you guys can now claim that you're having a climate-displaced wedding. It's a true story. Yeah. It's the first, I don't know. It's gonna happen more and more. One of my earliest memories as a child was being told that we were going to the hospital to visit my new little brother. And I remember feeling pure joy as I now had a new best buddy, and we haven't stopped hanging out ever since. Yeah, I would wish this was a roast, but it's not really. Anyway, we grew up in Riverview, New Brunswick, playing in the woods, burning stuff, skiing, biking, rollerblading, playing tennis, playing music. And Phil was always the most talented, naturally gifted person in the room and could do anything he put his mind to. He was an accomplished athlete. He played Canada Games tennis, for those of you who didn't know. Could shred on the guitar like a pro, and was even a prolific Bob Ross-style painter at a very early age. Yeah, it's true. He was the only kid in the adult evening painting classes, and our house was filled with happy little trees and stoic mountain paintings. Yeah. It's true. It's all true. It's ridiculous, but our basement was also ground zero for all the neighborhood kids to come and hang out and play music, and many lifelong friendships were formed there, and they haven't stopped laughing and playing together. So that's you guys, Chris and Colin, and the rest of the Riverview crew. Love you guys. Also known as the Gay Straights. It was also at this time in the mid-'90s where Phil started building websites. And that was what originally started off as a passion but turned into a career, which ultimately took him down to San Francisco, where he met Shannon. Yeah. Ow! I knew that Shannon was this person after one of their first dates when Phil told me that he had found a woman who loved to ski and bike, had a great job, was smart, beautiful, sexy, straight to the point, and basically checked off all of his must-have boxes. Not once to beat around the bush, they quickly established that they were aligned on all the same things. And I believe it was Shannon who was the first one to lay it out on their first or second date by asking, okay, so what's going on here? Something to that extent, anyway. And they've been, yeah. Okay, so are we doing this? What's going on? And they've been on the love plan ever since. Yeah. Family, super important to Phil and Shannon. And a couple of years ago, I had the pleasure of spending the Christmas holidays with the Lankenow family at Phil and Shannon's place in Truckee. Pat, Todd, Dylan welcomed me. like family, and this was truly a sight to behold. So much love and good cheer was had by all, and I fit right in with my own quirks and quirks. Being from a small, half-Jewish family, Christmas wasn't a big production, so I'd never seen anything like this. On Christmas Eve, I received my official family jammies, a Lankenau family tradition where everyone stays in their jammies all Christmas Day and unwraps copious amounts of gifts. And did gifts open? Even their pets Harry, Buckley, and Bodie got numerous gifts. Yeah, it's crazy. And I've never experienced such warm generosity. It was beautiful also to see the Lankenau's love for Phil. Yeah. A further confirmation that they were meant to be. And even when we all ended up getting snowed in and had to spend a few extra days together, everyone got along marvelously. And I proudly did not talk about politics at the dinner table, as I had been sternly warned by Phil and Shannon prior to coming for the holidays, which was a real challenge for me. I love politics. All right. Phil and Shannon, I'm so honored to be part of your lives. You've both been so kind and generous to me over the past many years as I carve out my own life and entrepreneurial journey. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. It really does. Thank you, guys. And your dedication to your friends and family is truly heartwarming and inspiring, as we can attest by who's here to celebrate with you. Or as I like to say, who's on your dance floor for this special occasion? Tonight and for the after party too. I'm so excited to be part of your family and to be your brother-in-law, Shannon, and grow our families together and hopefully have a bunch of little ski bum rugrats. Never lose that open, joyful, and playful spirit, and make sure to laugh as much as possible. Our family is so proud of you. I love you guys and looking forward to a lifetime of adventures with you. Thank you and have a wonderful time this evening.
Mark Rabin, everybody.
He loves politics. He wasn't lying.
You know,
he exercised extreme control, knowing him for a long time.
Really don't bring up politics tonight with him. Don't. It'll just...
I can't imagine him crossing the border and not talking politics, so he must love you guys. That is a beautiful
It was a great transition. Speaking of crossing the border, I heard a story. I don't want to steal your story, Pam, but I heard this story today, and I think it's quite funny. Up next, very important parents coming up here. They drove up here with Nevada plates. Is this correct? And the Canadian Border Services guard that was on duty said, "Do you have any guns to declare?" It was a great assumption by our Canadian border guards, to which I hear Pam replied, "No, but we have snacks." So that's good. That's very, without further ado, a family that looks more related to Colin, I think, than anybody else.
Yeah, everyone's
Dylan,
been talking about
Todd,
it. Thanks, Chris.
Pam, the Lankenhouse, please come.
The Lincolns, everyone.
Well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. If we haven't met, I'm Shannon's younger brother, but I never got to call her that. It was always sis. A couple of years ago, I had to get her attention for some reason, and I used her real name, and she turned on me and wagged her finger in my face and went, "Excuse you, you call me sis." So I think that's what I'll go with. There's an 8-year gap between us. I'm the younger brother. So she would babysit me. She would drag me along to wherever, and that led to a whole bunch of adventures. But most notably, leaving me at the pool when I was 8 or 9 years old, I think. It all worked out. She was bailing out a drunk frenemy, and she had to go, but she made it up to me. I remember that night they gave me a very good make-up dinner and a promise to teach me how to snowboard. I ski now. So most of our conflicts were at the dinner table. Sister, brother conflicts. We had corn for dinner one night, and we had these really terrible, dull corn picks. They were horrible. And I couldn't get them attached. So, as you do, you were ribbing me and going, come on, it's easy. Just put the corn picks in and let's go. Let's have dinner. Let's get this going. So I did the reasonable thing and threw it at her. I hit her right between the eyes. And I'm told that later you were just happy that it wasn't salted and buttered yet. But our childhood was full of moments like that. You would steal squirt guns from me. I would be loud and crazy. We technically had a bathroom between our rooms, but that really didn't block out much sound. So you would play music, I would play music, back and forth. It was just living together that just set us off, but I think once you moved out for college, that's when we kind of started to admit that maybe we liked each other just a little bit. But from there, our relationship has grown so much. We've taken countless walks. We've talked about so many things, working things out, and just talking about the future. And for those, I'm eternally grateful. Something that might surprise a lot of you is that I've always talked about my older sister. I've bragged about you for years. I think before people know anything about me, they know that I have an amazing older sister and that I'm so proud of her. And starting from a couple of years ago, you don't escape that either, Phil. I brag about you guys all the time. I've seen how hard you guys work, and I know that you deserve everything you have and so much more. And I'm so proud of you. Phil, you're such a genuine, direct, and warm person. Just knowing you has enriched my life so much. I'm so happy that my sister found you. You're such a good guy, and you have excellent taste in music, which is always a plus. In the few short years that I've really known you, you've been an excellent mentor, conversationalist, and an all-around good dude. The first year, Phil spent Christmas with our family in Reno. This was before the following year when we got snowed in with Mark. Sorry. He made a joke about feeling like he had been adopted for the holiday. As an adoptee myself, I'm very proud to make that status just a little bit more official. Congratulations to the happy couple. I love you both so much, and I'm so excited to see what you do next.
Well, thank you all for coming to this very momentous occasion. We are so thankful that Shannon and Phil have loving family, as well as many friends that are here tonight. Old friends that go back to childhood, as well as new friends they have found together. I know each and every one of you will love and support them as husband and wife throughout the years to come. We are most thankful that Shannon and Phil found one another. My happiest memories of Shannon were watching her grow and blossom into the successful, exceptional woman she is today. She thrived at everything she set her mind to. My mom described her as one determined little girl, and this has served her well. She succeeded in academics, swimming, cross-country skiing, and in her early teen years, partying. She could hold her own drinking as well as eating, which earned her the nickname the Hoover. She was also nicknamed the Man-Eater. Because she could chew them up and spit them out, which she did many times, leaving broken hearts in her wake. But my favorite nickname was given to her by her Aunt Lynn, my sister. When Shannon was about 3 months old, she bought her a pink bubble suit with a matching bonnet, expensive and frivolous. She said, "It's for baby girl, and she will only be this age once." So baby girl it was. She even had a bank account that we shared named Baby Girl. It stuck with her till this day, and I much prefer that over the Man-Eater. And the man she has chosen to have and to hold, Phil. I was comfortable with Phil from the very first time I was with him. He was so easy to be with and love from the start. I knew he would be the son-in-law I have always wanted because he is thoughtful, patient, kind, and loving, and he adores Shannon above all. Phil, we love you to the moon and beyond. Welcome to our family. And now my husband has a nickname to share.
Boy, do I have lots of stories. But yeah, speaking in nicknames, mine was Daddy 20 Bucks. Seemed like every time Shannon wanted to go out anywhere, I'd end up having to cough out 20 bucks. Yeah. I'm sure the price has gone up on that, hey, Phil? Anyway, speaking of Phil, I liked him from the day I met him. And I really was pleased in his traditional ways. And I was up on a salmon fishing trip up in Oregon one day, out on the river, and I get a text from Phil. And he said, "Do you have a minute to talk?" Thankfully, it wasn't one of these, "I'm going to marry your daughter," you know. But anyway, I got back to the lodge and I called Phil and he asked me my permission if it was okay if he asked my daughter to marry him. And of course I said yes. But Shannon was always an inquisitive girl, you know, as she was growing up. She'd ask questions about anything that didn't make sense to her, whether it was something she saw or something she heard. Anyway, there was a time when she was quite young, I think 4 or 5 maybe, when we went to see a Disney movie together. And we got inside the theater and it's nice and dark and quiet. And suddenly the previews of the coming attractions came on. And I don't know if any of you remember the movie The Father of the Bride from years ago. Anyway, so it's particularly appropriate, I guess, that I tell you this story. We're sitting in the theater waiting for The Lion King to start, and the preview starts for the Father of the Bride. And it begins in the formal entry of the 2-story entry of the bride's parents' house, and the doorbell rings and Steve Martin walks out, And he answers the door, and he welcomes in his daughter's boyfriend. And just about the same time, his daughter walks into the room, ready to leave for the evening out. They have a short conversation between them, and Steve, they're ready to leave, and the boyfriend opens the front door and says goodbye. And Steve Martin's obviously thinking about several things at the same time. And he says, "Don't forget to fasten your condom." And so we're in a dark, quiet theater, at the time. And Shannon turns to me and she says, "Daddy, what's a condo?" And I'm thinking, well, this isn't a real good time to get into a discussion like this. But so I thought quickly and I turned to her and I said, "Well, Shannon, it's like an apartment except you own it." And she bought it. So anyway, after that, the questions got considerably more difficult, but we negotiated all of those. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody here for making their way to enjoy this great occasion with us and send Shannon and Phil on their way to bigger and better things. Thank you.
Great job, Dylan. Great job, Todd. That was great. Thank you. Well, Chris, you're a father of daughters. I'm a father of a daughter. I got to say, I'm not sure about you, but that both melted my heart and scared the shit out of me at the same time. That was beautiful. All the feelings you should have at a wedding. That was beautiful. Round of applause
Like
for
it
Dylan,
out.
Pam, and Todd.
Guys, the next part of this evening is very important. You're going to love it so much.
Oh, I think I know what part it is. Oh, man, this is so wild.
It's so wild. Guys, is it time? Aaron? Salad?
Salad?
Salad!
It's salad time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's salad time. Thanks, Scott.
Spin one of those around.
Oh, hey, you two. Yoo-hoo.
Oh.
Yoo-hoo.
She used the H word.
Yeah. My wife, very nice.
Joking, like, my wife has so much gravity.
Serves him. He's like, my wife.
For better.
Just sway a little right there. That looks amazing with the kiss. That looks awesome. And then just, yeah, turn into each other. Throw your arms around each other.
Oh, how nice. Very good. It's not my fault, I promise.
I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
I wonder if it still holds up. That's the we're definitely need a bloopers reel. This is gonna be good.
Let's get a little bit of motion.
Do the dip!
That's it. Oh! No, look at her. Don't look at me. I'm not important. Closer into him a little bit. And then turn just great. Phil, turn back to me a hair. We're going to shoot that. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, ready when you are. Woo! We're looking at each other.
That looks amazing.
Well, this has quickly become a mingler. How's everybody doing so far? Yep, it's definitely a wedding. Everybody's spreading out, mingling.
Getting to know each other.
Getting drunk with new faces.
New
faces.
There's like How many people here are from America?
Hey, all right.
Oh my
Great.
God, Canada.
Great country, perfect country in terms of size, in terms of people.
Sorry, I don't mean to do that.
It's
More.
a lot more people than I thought. Showed up, and it's great. You showed
Okay,
up.
well, just 1 second. I would like to get your opinion on this next country I'm going to ask. How many Canadians are here?
Oh, wow.
It's good. It's great, and I think that the fact that we came together means Canada will stay strong.
I don't know. I'm
Is
trying.
that Trudeau?
I'm trying Trudeau.
Is that
I've
Trudeau?
never tried him before. I never tried him before.
It's pretty good.
If I did it with Phil's face, you'd think it was him.
What's Sleepy Joe?
Yeah, look at this guy.
There you go. Look at that.
He's got to be related.
Look at that Trudeau.
He's got to
Look.
be related to Trudeau.
I mean, watch out, Shannon. I mean, Trudeau's on the prowl now. He doesn't have a. He's single. Trudeau's single. I mean, the timing of this is terrible.
Fact of the matter is, a lot of people are probably wondering who are these two gringos talking.
Who are these guys?
Who are these guys? If you don't know who we are,
My name's Chris.
my name's Colin.
Hold for applause.
Also known as CNC Music Factory. I'm sure you've heard of our records.
You've heard of our albums, yes, of course.
No, we are very old friends of Philippe Rabin. That's why we talk like this in chorus. We spent too much time in Philippe's basement as teenagers, trying to be funny and playing music.
And we even we were together many years. We were in a comedy troupe that.
Whoa, deep cut. Okay.
Deep cut. We were in a comedy troupe called the Hen Men.
Hen Men, that's right.
With Phil.
Phil started as our tech aficionado, quickly becoming a cameo feature.
Yeah, full-fledged member.
Yeah, full-fledged member.
We went over there. We did the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We were very successful at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival over there.
Yeah.
And
a lot of fellow thespians in the crowd. Thank you for appreciating that.
Thank you.
Part of our resume. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we were so successful that we decided to move to the bustling metropolis of Guildford, Surrey, England, which is like London, but way smaller and way sleepier. And
I almost forgot. Sorry, I didn't say that right. I tried to forgot. Anyway, keep going.
And you know, we were struggling actors and technicians at the time, and Phil had a great idea. This kind of speaks to Phil's ingenuity. You know, there was 5 of us, plus a fiance and a 2-bedroom apartment. So there was 6 of us.
A tiny sandwich shop.
Yeah.
We're talking English-sized small.
Yeah.
And really small.
So it was Phil's idea to accommodate all these people. Yeah. Can you?
Well, I mean, we had to figure out who's going to live with each other, and there was an obvious, no straws needed to be drawn. Obviously, Phil, Chris, and I were going to live together in the same bedroom. And in order for us to live in the same, 100 square foot bedroom, we had to figure out how to accommodate ourselves to the space. So Phil had this brilliant innovation in sleeping technology. He endowed with the title the Human Shelving Unit, which was a triple-decker wacky shack built of scrap wood, triple-decker bunk bed.
It was a bunk bed.
The Human Shelving Unit.
Phil's on the top, of course.
Yeah, no, I was on the top.
You were on the top?
Phil was the middle.
Oh, wow.
Wait, that's the best part of the sandwich. All
It
right?
is the best part of the sandwich.
The meat. Phil's the meat. I'm the top loaf. He's the bottom.
Oddly enough, that's where we formed our band, the Gay Straights.
Yes, it is.
If you guys know anything about us, it's songs by men.
That's right.
For men, by men, by men.
Yeah, music for men, by men. Sorry, I have a stutter. That's right. Yeah, I remember Phil would fall asleep and we would whisper from top to bottom and be like, "He's asleep, right? I got a great idea."
It's an idea for a song.
Yeah, Phil was actually an unofficial member, wasn't he?
Just before we get into this next speaker, we've known Phil so long. There's a lot of Phil lore that we have. And we have this saying called classic Phil.
Oh, yeah.
And you pull a classic Phil. And
I think we started that when we were like 15.
15. Actually, I feel like Dan Rinsler, not here today,
Not here.
I feel like Dan Rinsler pioneered this
I
saying.
remember. He was the guy I was talking about last night who would come in and go,
Phil, are you ready? And Henriette would be like, I don't like him. I don't like that guy. I don't like him. He called him Phil. I don't like him.
And you know, the classic Phil, just to define it, it can't be defined, but it's a little bit like if you know the comedian Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
He has a bit called "You Might Be a Redneck If."
Yeah.
So, it's exactly.
Like we said, there's Americans
You
here.
might be a redneck if you scream at a wedding speech that you might be a redneck,
yeah.
right? So you get it. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. So this is called you might be pulling a classic Phil if. Okay, so you might be pulling a classic Phil if the menu says no substitutions and you ask for a substitution.
Yeah. Right out of the
gates. You may be
gates.
pulling a classic Phil.
Yeah, right out of the gates.
Right out of the gates.
Right out of the gates. Go right into
No
substitution
mayo,
options.
no mustard.
Yeah.
You
Classic Phil.
Might be pulling a classic Phil when you're supposed to be somewhere at 3 o'clock and you decide to stop for a pour-over coffee at 2:58. You might be pulling
a classic Phil.
Classic Phil. Classic Phil.
Yeah, you might be pulling a classic Phil if it's 4 a.m. and it's time to go home. And
party's long over.
Party is long over, and you find yourself having a in-depth conversation about the state of the economy.
Classic Phil. So just
Phil.
be aware of when you're pulling a classic Phil. Okay. So this next speaker, near and dear to our hearts.
It's a miracle she's still alive and that we did not give her a mental breakdown, an emotional breakdown.
For allowing us to jam in her basement.
In her basement for hours at a time.
This woman is what I feel like gave Phil a taste for the finer things in life. This woman.
She introduced me to the finer things of life.
She introduced us all to the finer things
really
of life.
Did.
She once planned the Queen's visit to Moncton, New Brunswick. Yep. This is no word of a lie.
No word of a lie. Yep.
This is true. Ladies and
the classiest human I think I've ever met.
Yes, not the Queen. You mean Henriette.
No, I'm not the Queen. I'm talking Henriette.
Henriette, please welcome to the stage Henriette Lacroix. Henriette Lacroix.
I'm so French. Okay. Well, I was allowed 5 minutes, and I decided 2 minutes would be sufficient as well. Good evening, and bonsoir, everybody. Thank you for attending this special occasion. We have all traveled from different places and different countries. Welcome and welcome. So a huge thank you goes to Phil and Shannon and the amazing wedding planner, wherever you are. It's been a very stressful ordeal for the past week, and organizers have especially been efficient at the time. I have met a lot of you yesterday, and if you don't know who I am, I'm Henriette Lacroix. I am the mother of Marc-André and Philippe Rabin. Yes, their real name. But for this occasion, it will be Phil and Mark. Their late father, Meyer Rabin, would have loved to see his 2 favorite sons and reunited here today, and especially meeting Shannon, her parents, Pam and Todd, and their son, Dylan. I'm overjoyed to gain a daughter. Yeah. About 6.5 years ago, I met Shannon in San Francisco. At that time, I was already impressed by her determination to succeed in her career, her sense of adventure, and her unbelievable amount of travels. She also gave me enough of her delicious ratatouille, which lasted 4 days. Well, still grateful to this day. And also, you remember you were talking about condom a little earlier? Yes. Well, I have a little story about it. My sister-in-law, Toby, was moving, and Phil said at this time, "You know, Tante Toby, I am so happy that you're moving into your new condom." And her answer was, "I wish." Well, you know, he was young. The people behind were not so impressed. At 4 years old, I knew Philip would easily stand up for himself for the rest of his life. The family was staying at the Jasper Park Lodge and in Alberta, and we were having dinner in the dining room. A waiter came to the table and asked Phil, "What kind of desserts would you like?" Phil then, dressed in his little suit and bow tie. I love bow ties. And said, "Oh, I'll go by myself." He had already seen a full table of desserts, and he knew exactly at this time what he wanted. So we knew you would go ahead. So to this day, Phil has followed a wonderful career, and his success is real. And one thing that stands out to this day is his friendship with Mark. When they were together, I could never place a word in conversation, even to this day. Okay, yeah. So I'm delighted that Phil fell in love with Shannon, a bright and great lady. Thank you, Pam and Todd, for raising such a wonderful daughter. And together, I can see sparks of love. I hope you live a long time and chase your dreams. Every day is Valentine's Day. I lost the line. I get that from Chris and Colin, you know? Yeah. So every day is Valentine's Day if you are in the right relationships. Thank you, family and friends, for coming this evening. Let's raise our glasses to Shannon and Phil in wishing them many, many happy days.
Keep it going for Henriette.
Henriette Lacroix.
Looking delightful, believe it or not, crushing many mountains every year. You must have done 75 runs this year on the ski hill. Phil?
More?
That's
That's low.
a low
75 is
ball.
low. 100 days on the hill.
Seasons. We're talking 5,000 kilometers a summer at one point on the bicycle. Philippe's inspiration, no doubt.
That's right.
When it comes
Queen
to
of the
sport.
mountain.
Queen of the mountain.
Now, Colin, would you permit...
No, that was never my nickname, Chris. I'm not very sporty.
That's Phil's nickname, actually. Would you permit me something?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
What do you need?
I would like to invite up my wife
I'm your
here for a
friend.
second.
I'm your friend.
I'd like to invite up my wife.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
The gay straights
you
are over.
You said you wouldn't.
The gay straights are over.
You said you wouldn't. This is gonna be too good.
Now, this makes more sense. Okay.
Should I leave? I don't know.
No,
I feel
you
like
should.
a third
This
wheel.
is-
My
this
wife.
is-
Never
So,
mind.
we've got a little bit of a gift. My wife, my children have a bit of a gift for Phil and Shannon for this evening. That people, a little interactive part of this evening. But I just got to back it way up. I got to tell a story before this happens. No, you can join.
Oh, okay,
no, you can come right here. You can come right here, Carl.
I felt like a third wheel.
No. This involves you too.
Oh, okay, thank
So,
God.
Phil and Colin and Lauren and lawyer Paul Hughes over there.
Paul Hughes.
Paul, you all worked at a summer camp in Maine, and we're all doing our 20s. We're all very self-centered back then. All right? We were. Phil the most. And we had a senior counselor.
He was our teacher.
He was our teacher. He taught us the way. And we had a senior counselor who coined a piece of Phil Laura that has resonated through the 20 years since we've been at camp. And he said to us one day, Phil only cares about 5 things. Feel, right? All right. And so, flash forward to Phil's 40th birthday. Colin and I, as the Gay Straights, wrote him a song. The chorus of the song goes, Phil only cares about 5 things. Feel. Right, okay.
Phil only cares about. Oh, sorry, not the whole thing. Yeah, just one repeat. Yeah.
And so we made a music video for the song. We recorded the song, and we played the music video for Lauren and I's daughters. And they love it. They love the video. They have no questions about their dad's sexuality whatsoever.
I was gonna say, they haven't asked me anything yet.
Yeah.
And I know them well.
But guys, here's the turn. Here's the turn. Is they saw it, and they know Phil and Shannon. And they're like, Phil doesn't care about 5 things. He cares about 1 thing. Shannon. All right?
That makes sense.
To teach you the dance that my wife and my daughters created for this evening that you can do tonight. Are you ready? I'm ready. Colin and I can sing it. Colin and I can. Okay, ready? I hope to see this on the dance floor tonight. All right, ready?
Should you come out here so everybody can see it,
so
maybe?
see it.
I think this is the spot right here. This is the spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
get that going.
Yeah,
Give her the confidence.
Keep it going.
Boom, 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 boom.
Phil only cares about 5 things. Shannon. Phil only cares about 5 things. Shannon. What? Phil only cares about 5 things. Shannon.
Whoa!
Not bad.
Wow. That is catchy. That is a catchy move.
Catchy.
I completely forget how the Macarena goes now. That was incredible. Yeah, I'm doing that tonight. For sure.
We will.
We're bringing that back. Oh,
we
there's
might
no
play the
chance.
song tonight.
How's it
I
go?
don't know, maybe we'll.
Shannon. How's it going? I don't remember.
You got it, Cole.
How I did not break my nose just now was amazing. Okay. All right. Well, big round of applause for Lauren. That was incredible.
Lauren Bergovich.
Georgia, May, wherever you are, wish you could be here. Their daughters. Okay.
Next speaker.
That was so cool.
So cool.
There's more? This is awesome. This night is awesome. All right. It's for you, Marcus. All right. Right, who do we have next? Oh, my
a very
God.
holy man. We have a very
holy man.
Holy man.
Yeah, the rabbi himself. We're talking
Father
Hodge Misty Eyes. Bring him up, Father Hodge Misty Eyes. Get him up here.
Look at this guy.
Okay. I think it's about to get nasty.
It kind of is. I do think it's been a wonderful evening, and I will say one of the biggest honors of my life is marrying the two of you. Truly. But I think it's time for Father Haji to get excommunicated, don't you think? It's time to go to the depths of hell because it's time for Phil to get roasted. Let's go. So I feel like the gay straights warmed this up. So I used to work at a gay bar in Vancouver. It was called 1181, also known as Tight Lounge, because it was actually in an alley. It was a tight lounge. And I got a job there, and it was incredible. I was bartending, I was making cocktails, and a lot of our friends would come in, Colin, Lauren, Chris, they would all come in, and they'd have a drink or two and say, "This is great. This is fantastic. What a wild bar. Fun. Not really our scene, but fun. Hodge, looks like you're doing great. We're gonna go." Phil Rabin, on the other hand, came in a lot. Like a lot, Phil. Like I would have 4 shifts a week, and Phil would be at all 4 of my shifts. And it started with like Phil in a t-shirt and a hat going like, "Hodge pours me free beers." You're like, "Oh, okay, I guess I do." And then he came in the second shift, he's wearing a V-neck. And then he came in with a cashmere sweater tied up over top. And then the beers turned to espresso martinis real fast. And then like, by shift 18 that I had been there, I was starting to get my ground. It was good. I knew my drinks. And like, Phil wouldn't even look at me. He didn't even acknowledge that I was his friend and gave him free drinks. He'd just be like, "Martini, let's go." And this is a true story. You might not even remember this. There was one night where I got there and Phil was already like propped against the bar, just hanging. And he had a semicircle of men around him. You remember this? And I came over and got like all of them martinis and put them down. And one man said, "So are you a Persian prince? Or are you a Brazilian model?" And Phil, do you remember your response? I bet you don't. I bet you don't. You said, "I'll be whatever you want me to be." It gets better. It gets better. We can keep going. We're going to hell. Let's go. Father Haji. So then one drunk night, he's like 9 espresso martinis in. And like I'm bartending and it's crazy busy. And you come up to the bar and you're like real drunk. And you're like, "Haji, come here." And I was like, "Okay." And this is just like a gaggle of gents had been around him. And Phil's like whispers in, he goes, "My God, I love this attention." Yeah. That's good, right? That's good. That was good. I'm gonna pull a little bit of Shannon into this too, because I have to say, because I do love her, and this one really almost made me tear up. When I did the officiating, I really took this serious, and I sent them both anonymous questionnaires. So I said, and it was like some deep stuff, like what are your fears? What do you love about him? What do you not? What do you like? Physical quirks too, which I can tell you later what she doesn't like about you, Phil. But this is my favorite response by Shannon. Let's see if I can get through this. The question was, what impresses you the most about your partner, Phil, when you first met him? And this is her response. His interest in me and everyone and everything around him. It's not just me that Phil wants to learn about, though I first have experienced this now myself. He's truly deeply interested in learning about other people in a selfless sort of way. He's not trying to figure out an angle to prop himself up. He's really just sincerely interested in others and what they have to say. Watching him interact with others, like his father, yeah, like his father. Watching him interact with others is one of the reasons I really loved him. He makes other people feel seen and heard in a special, unique way. It really is a gift. So I realized, Shannon, Phil is your gay bar. Or you're his gay bar. Or you're the gaggle of gentlemen. And I'll tell you, Shannon, he can be whatever you want him to be.
Father Hodge, Misty Eyes.
Father Hodge.
Keep it going. Wow. I'll tell you, Chris.
What do you guys say?
That guy definitely respects technology because that was a mic drop if I ever saw.
Wow.
A perfect opportunity, and he did not hurt these mics.
That guy thought he was going to hell. He became a saint.
He
It's on
is
the
a
way
saint,
right up.
yes.
Saint Hodge.
Please, I hope nobody took a photo of Chris's position when he was just there for a second. That was not looking good. He's far too Aryan to be doing that. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I've known him for too long. Sorry. Okay, it's getting late.
It's getting late. The blue hour has become...
You know, a fun fact, too, to add on to that, actually, Phil was only... Somebody just yelled, "Dodge, you should make movies." That's what he does. Very good. Wow. I'm sweating. I was dry as a bone before that, and I'm horny now. I'll be whatever you want me to be, Chris. No joke. Okay, because we're not telling jokes.
We're getting serious.
No, but Phil is actually he was the Gay Straight's ringer always since we started the project.
That's
So-
true. That's true.
I don't know if you know what that means. Maybe those terms in the same sentence don't make sense to you, but just mean he was the backup guy. He was always
Yeah,
in
he was the
extremes.
sub. He was the sub.
He was basically our Carlos
Oh no,
Santana.
he was the bottom. Sorry, no, he was the
He was the
top.
meat.
He was the meat. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to bring things down for a second.
That was broken down.
We
I'm
got to bring
broken.
things
I'm
way
broken.
down.
I'm broken.
Because
Hodge broke us.
we got to give it up for the entrees. The cake. Sorry, we got to cut the cake so we can have the cake after the entrees. Sorry guys. We're gonna cut the cake together. All right? Are you ready for this? Let's do it.
This is what you've all been waiting for.
Let's get over there.
Um,
And I'll sing them over there. At last, our love has.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
All the way from Vancouver. Wherever you
Wherever
want
you
to
like.
Oh, careful.
That's some serious cake cutting, guys.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
The third act of the evening.
Everybody enjoy their entrees? Everyone enjoying dessert? How about that salad?
How about that salad?
Sucker for pickled cauliflower. I absolutely love it. I am. I thought everything has been immaculate. Round of applause for the entire affair. How about that?
There we go.
That feels good. Feels deserving. I think we could have been embellished a little more, but
I want to set
tired.
expectations right now, Call.
let's say it again, Chris.
I want to tell these people what they've got in store for the rest of the night.
Okay. You're probably wondering, does this end?
Does this ever end? Will we ever stop talking? And the answer is yes, but not yet. So we've got a couple more speeches. We've got after the speeches, we've got the first dance.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I am so excited for that part. Who knows what they're going to dance to?
I mean,
Ed Sheeran, Eyes Closed. Is that it?
well,
I hope so.
Shannon could challenge Phil with any dance because, according to history, he's willing to be anything
For anyone.
wants him to be. Yummy. Yes, favorite Persian dancer, Philippe Rabin.
He might entertain you with a little bit of the Nutcracker Prince, which he danced when he was 10
I mean,
in the
actually,
New Brunswick Ballet.
I've got a question. Do you still own the bowling shoes you stole from Fairlanes? Those were your dancing shoes for like a decade. Are they still around or are they long gone? Yeah, that makes two of us. And only two of us.
So, yeah, dancing coming up soon. We're going to do the dancing till about midnight. And then that'll wrap down the festivities here. And then there'll be festivities maybe somewhere else. But you got to know people to know where that's happening. Okay.
Man, this wedding is so cool.
We've got two more speeches. The first speech, this is a teenage deep cut for
yes.
Shannon.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Do we need to tease a teenage deep cut?
What's a hot teenage deep cut about Phil?
Let's see. There's one that I haven't mentioned yet.
Okay, go.
Oh God, I lost it. Was there something you're expecting me to say?
No.
Damn it.
This is on the fly.
There's a deep cut. Oh. Damn it. I think they've all been said. You know what? Anything else would just be disgusting, perverse, and inappropriate.
Well, then we need to hear some teenage deep cuts about Shannon.
Yes, I think we need a lot more of that. My glass is half full. When it
Please
comes to that
welcome
one.
to the stage to the lovely, lovely Margot.
Margot.
Okay, can we please give it up for Chris and Colin one more time? The least boring wedding reception ever. Okay, so they told me I had 5 minutes to talk, which is definitely not enough time to talk about how amazing Shannon is, but I'm gonna try to do my best. So Phil, sorry, there's not much about you in here. So Shannon and I first met when we were 14 years old at a training camp for the Far West Junior Olympic Nordic ski team. That's a lot of words. Now, this is not the cool type of skiing. This is the nerdy type of skiing with lots of spandex. But I thought Shannon was cool right away, mostly because she was one of the only other girls my age, and she did not smell like BO, unlike mostly everyone else. So one of the things is when I first met Shannon, she was actually a tomboy, but like a very cool tomboy. So I remember her go-to outfit was reef sandals. She had these long cargo shorts that kind of went over her knees. And she also had this helmet with a lot of like cool snowboarding stickers on it. And she had this, but even since she was 14, she always had this energy about her of knowing what she wanted. And she also drove a stick shift, which I thought was pretty badass. One of the first things about her, I remember her beautiful blue eyes that reminded me of a Siberian husky puppy, which I don't know why I've never seen one in my life before, but the nickname of Pup was born in that moment. So during that training camp, we quickly became friends. And after that, in the months that followed, I remember countless hours we spent training for the Junior Olympics, roller skiing in the summer, hill repeats, double pulling drills. I tried to block all of this out, but I had to remember it for the speech. We were in the best shape of our lives, maybe more my life. Shannon's still in amazing shape. We were pretty sure we were going to win the Junior Olympics. So we traveled to New Hampshire with our team. And spoiler alert, long story short, we ended up coming in basically last. Like both of us were in the bottom 5. So we knew. Well, we knew in that moment we weren't cut out to be professional athletes. We were cut out to be friends for life. Like most coming-of-age friendships, we had many first experiences together. We did not buy our first thongs kit together because Casey beat me to that. But I did have the honor of plucking Shannon's eyebrows for the first time. And let's just say the shenanigans escalated from there. Most of which were not appropriate to talk about during the speech, but Shannon, I cherish all the incredible adventures we've shared over the years, too numerous to recount, from partying in the woods of Truckee, to hiking in the jungles of Colombia, to getting tattoos in Brooklyn and living together in San Francisco. It's been an honor to witness the many milestones in your life and chapters in your life. I've seen you from working in France, going to grad school in DC, moving to San Francisco for Hastings Law School, studying and passing the California bar exam. Sorry, the lights are in my eyes. sensory sensitivity. Okay, hold on. ADHD, hold on. Sorry. You're doing great, Mark. Okay. And you look beautiful in the light. Oh. You were working in France, going to grad school in DC. Okay, we talked about that. She's done like this woman. Okay. Living together in San Francisco, and of course, when your number one man came into your life, Mr. B. Okay, don't worry. Mr. B is her dog. Sorry, not the Persian prince. And of course, being here today when you marry your Persian prince and your best friend, Phil. So for those of you who are here who don't know Shannon as well, you may be first impression of how beautiful she is, her physical appearance. But honestly, the truth is that's not the most interesting thing about her, in my opinion. Shannon has always been so adventurous even before meeting Phil. From jumping off cliffs at Eagle Rock or Eagle Lake to competing in the Donner Lake Swim, which is basically swimming 2 miles in a glacial lake, to I stand corrected. 2.7. To helicopter skiing, mountain bike trips, she has an incredible adventurous spirit. She is also the queen of snack packs. She has a special talent for fitting sandwiches perfectly into Ziploc bags. Shannon is one of the most generous people I know, always making time for her friends. When I went to visit her fancy office at Latham and Watkins, she had an award on her door in recognition of all the pro bono hours that she does for the community. I always remember her doing so much, whether it was volunteering at the polls during elections, helping individuals who are seeking asylum with their legal cases. She always had such a strong sense of justice and doing the right thing. Lastly, as evidenced by this incredible community here tonight, Shannon is an amazing friend. She is loving, loyal, protective. You are the executor of my will, not because you're a lawyer, but because you are the person I literally trust with my life. You are fierce, courageous, and having you in my corner makes me feel safe and protected. Shannon, thank you for being by my side for over 20 years. Thank you for teaching me so many things. What redacting means, the art of the snack pack, the magic of sleeping with earplugs, and most importantly, what it means to have a friend that becomes a sister. So with all of these amazing qualities, it was no surprise that Shannon always had a line of suitors waiting at the door for her. And man-eater, yeah. Believe me, I've seen all of them. I know all of the things. We're not going to talk about that at all. Okay, but with Phil, it was different. Shannon first met Phil, as we know. She was dating his roommate, but that was merely a detour to their final destination. It was clear from the beginning that Shannon and Phil were an amazing match. And Phil, I don't have time to talk about how amazing you are, but you did install my tushy, and I'll be forever indebted for you. My half-Jewish brother from another mother, and part French. So, okay, this is the end. I've loved watching your relationship grow, and I'm so honored to celebrate you tonight. Let's all raise our glasses as we celebrate these two incredible people we love so much.
That was a heart melter. Round of applause. That was beautiful. Man. If anybody would like to know more about the information that everybody is redacting from their speeches this evening, there will be a publication coming out on the dark web, apparently, after this wedding. God, so much things I have many questions about, but I am not allowed to ask. All right, well, we're up to our last speech. I'm alone now, so you probably got an idea of who that is. The only other person that's probably in the 25-year friendship club with Philippe Rabin. This guy was the intern to a Gordon Ramsay kitchen the first time they moved into each other in Halifax, with each other in Halifax. I mean, I remember Phil would always tell me, like, every time he needs to eat, he just makes rice and adds soy sauce. And that's where he gets his nutrition from. Like, he's ripping on his culinary bohemianism. But let it be known, this person was only 19 years old. Philippe Rabin was also 19 and an established culinary artist. Ripping him to shreds, but one of his most loyal, one of his best friends of all time, one of the most beautiful human beings, a loving father, a loving husband. Please warm a round of applause for the Chris Kelly.
Thank you, Colin, for the lovely intro. Here's your wine. Thank you. You may take your seat. True story, I was a terrible cook before I met Phil. He taught me how to cook curry. The recipe he learned by going down to Quimple Road in Halifax and badgering the woman at the local Indian restaurant for the recipes of her dishes. And then he learned it and taught all of us. So thank you for that. That's a classic Phil. Classic Phil. You might be doing classic Phil if you badger the owner of a restaurant to teach you the recipes. I have known Phil, as Colin said, for over 25 years. I've known him for so long, very long time. So long that we have developed what scientists call, this is true, it's very up Phil's alley that I'm bringing up science right now. What's called an interconnected memory system. So a 2014 study came out that showed that couples who have been together for over 13 years had better memory recall together than when apart. And this is true. Phil quotes this all the time. I hold his memories, he holds mine. So, if Phil needs to know the address of where we lived in Edinburgh, Scotland, he asks me and I tell him, Fetty's Row. Fetty's Row, Edinburgh, Scotland, 2004. If he needs to remember the name of the high school where he drove a half-ton pickup truck under a basketball hoop and broke off that basketball hoop while the entire high school watched him do it before we were about to DJ a dance, I would respond, the name of that high school is Middleton High School in Nova Scotia, Phil. No joke. We went to go get Subway. We were in a rush to go get Subway, and he ripped off a basketball net in front of a high school. I don't know if we had to pay for that. If Phil wants to know, if he's just dying to know, if he's just scratching his head, if he's wanting to know, have we ever seen the Counting Crows live? I will respond, yes, of course, Phil. We saw them open for John Mayer in Sarasota Springs, New York. Of course. Yes. You were there. You were there. So yes, I know this man's mind. I've been in this man's mind for a very long time. And the thing I love about it is that Phil knows what he wants. You know, Phil, this man knows what he wants. When he wants to do something, he focuses, he does it. He wanted to know how to code. He taught himself to code. He got a job at Uber. Like, focus. This guy's got focus. He wants to learn some very obscure, very too complex bluegrass fingerstyle guitar song. He'll go like hours deep on YouTube. He will learn the song. You will also try and learn the song. He'll tell you what's wrong with your version of learning the song. He goes deep. But here's the thing. Life doesn't work that way. Just because you want something doesn't mean that you get it, right? Case in point. We're in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We're in our 20s. We're going to university, dead of winter. Phil decides he wants fresh pepperoni pizza. He wants a hot slice of pepperoni pizza. It's 2 a.m. things are about to close down. We head down to a very famous corner, Pizza Corner, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Three different pizza shops. We walk in. I'm happy. I'm happy to just take what they have there in the heater right there. I'll take that slice. No, not for Phil. Phil wanted fresh. Phil wanted fresh pepperoni pizza. And, you know, the poor person behind the counter is like, we're about to close, sir, please. Nope, Phil wanted fresh. 15 minutes later, we had fresh pepperoni pizza. Phil gets handed a slice of fresh pepperoni pizza. He says, no, I don't want that slice. I don't want that slice. I want that slice with more pepperoni on it. We want more pepperoni on it. He gets the slice of his choosing. It's like 2:15 a.m., dead of winter. He walks outside, slips on black ice, loses the whole thing. Classic Phil. Classic Phil. You can't, just because you want something doesn't mean you can get it. So you can imagine when he was looking for a partner, he knew exactly what he wanted. We've heard this in echoes throughout the night. He had a bit of a list. You knew it. He wanted someone who could ski. Was fit. Blonde. Beautiful. Had good chat. And, you know, looked far and wide. Looked for 40 years, some might say. He looked far and wide. And he found Shannon. But here's the thing. In relationships, in love, it's not about what one person wants. It's about what two people want. And it was a bit of a lesson, I think, for Phil. And you know what? Shannon, I'm so glad you wanted him back. And, you know, it's been amazing seeing you guys together and seeing this friend that I've known for 25 years grow and change. And it's not about Phil caring about Phil. It's Phil cares about Shannon. Phil cares about Phil and Shannon. Phil wants Phil and Shannon. You guys want each other. And so Shannon, this is to you. I just want to thank you for, you know, loving my friend so well. And I'm just so happy that you can start storing his memories. And I hope you build a beautiful, interconnected memory system together. I love you both. Here's the bride and groom.
Mic drop, yes. Organic
mic drop.
Man, yeah, you just made me think, Chris, if he never found Shannon, this guy would be covered in tattoos. This is, like, the future Phil 20 years from now is a 61-year-old plastered in tattoos of just trying to keep it all together. He's got no one. So, Shannon, you rescued him from that island. Round of applause for Christopher George Kelly. Wow.
Now, I've been told we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We got a little bit of time before the first dance.
And now I'll work on impressions. Let's get into it. No, I'm just kidding. No, so what are we going to do? What's the 5 minutes?
I don't know what we're going to do for 5 minutes. Scott, you got any music that we can drink to? Get a coffee.
Nobody needs to hear these gringos riff anymore. Come on.
What you got an idea, Steve?
No, I just got to get the table out.
Oh, great. That's
Thank God. I thought you were about to tackle us. You're like, no, we got to get off.
You got any table music there, Scott? Beautiful.
ourselves winners, losers and sinners who have gone astray. As if I woke up lonely one morning, looked around and decided I would stay that way. Oh, you knocked me down and you call me crazy. You say I'm never gonna love someone. Give it time now, and you might find maybe. Prove you wrong till the right one comes. It won't be long till the right one comes. Now I know people broke down and defeated, lost what they needed in some miserable war. So forgive me if I might look around for a minute. We're jumping right in it, I just wanna be sure. Some people around here been calling me crazy. Some people say I'll never love someone. That's alright, give it time and maybe prove you wrong when the right one comes. It won't be long till the right one comes. Till the right one comes. Now I'm lying in bed, end of a long day, headed the wrong way down that highway of dreams. We're a little unsure what you're headed for. The end of the road ain't as close as it seems. Some people around here are calling me crazy. Must be young that he's been running from. Stick around now, you might find maybe. Prove you wrong till the right one comes. Hey, won't be long till the right one comes. Till the right one comes. Till the right one comes. Who's that knocking on my door till the right one comes? Is there someone I'm looking for till the right one comes? And who's that throwing arms around me till the right one comes? Telling me she's finally found the right one.
Party and just have a good time. I just wish I could remember the Phil song now. Phil only remembered Love's 5 Things. Can you guys sing it? What was that? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
1, 2.
1, 2. Let me come home. Let me come home. 2, 3, 6.
Everybody break it down. Hallelujah. Girl said hallelujah. 'Cause Uptown Funk gon' give it to you. Jackson, Mississippi. We show up. Too high. Peace, goodbye. It's back. Funk you up. Sing it out. Say it. Uptown. Funk you up.